They say a seat's just a seat until someone tries to take yours like you don't belong in it. And not just any seat. I'm talking first class, pre-assigned, hard-earned, printed on the boarding pass kind of seat snatched with the smirk of a man who thought mistake meant you. Yeah, that happened. It all started at Gate 17 early morning at Denver International. Celeste Harper, 36 years old, CEO of Aurora Core Systems, a rising star in AI analytics, was boarding her flight to San Francisco for what could have been a game-changing investor meeting. 50 million on the line. A deal 2 years in the making. She wasn't nervous, she was ready. Woke up before her alarm, still in that pitch mode that never really turns off when you're building a company from scratch. She had founded Aurora after finishing dual PhDs in machine learning and ethics because, get this, she believed tech should do better by people who looked like her. So yeah, her seat was 1A, first class, top tier, earned, not gifted. She checked in smooth, passed through security, even had time to grab a mint tea. It was one of those rare mornings where everything felt aligned. Until it wasn't. As she approached her row, she saw him already settled in her seat like it was his God-given right. White guy, mid-40s. That Patagonia vest wearing, Bluetooth earpiece while talking to nobody type, his name. She'd soon learn was Russell Cain. Celeste checked her boarding pass again, out of courtesy, not doubt. "Excuse me," she said with a calm smile. "I believe you're in 1A. He didn't even look up, just waved his hand like she was housekeeping. "Nope, this is mine. Maybe they upgraded you by mistake." "Yeah, that line." She stood there, stunned for half a second, before saying, "No, I booked this seat. Weeks ago." She handed him the boarding pass clear as day. He finally looked, smirked. "You sure you're not supposed to be in the back?" And just like that, it wasn't about a seat anymore. It was about place. It was about power. Flight attendant showed up, Natalie, early 30s. Blonde bob, clipboard energy, Celeste explained calmly. Natalie listened, nodded, then turned to Russell and asked, "Would you mind just switching to 3C? It would really help us stay on schedule." Celeste blinked. "Wait, I'm the one with the assigned seat." Natalie smiled, that strained, performative smile. "It's just one flight." But it never is just one flight. Celeste looked around. Nobody was backing her, not yet. Russell chuckled low, leaned closer, and said, "These tickets are expensive, I get it. Mistakes happen." Then came the line that turned the cabin electric. Maybe it was part of the airline's, diversity thing. A few gasps. One guy muttered, "Jesus," but nobody said anything. Celeste wasn't new to this game, but that familiar tightness in her chest, the one that starts in your ribs and crawls up your neck, it hit hard. She stayed calm, measured. "I'd like the manifest reviewed," she said. "Now." Natalie hesitated, then disappeared, and the clock. It kept ticking. Every minute. Her investor window shrank. 35 minutes in, still grounded at the gate. Then came Captain Thompson, late 50s. Stern jawline. The kind of guy who walks like he thinks everything's a fire hazard. "What's the issue here?" Natalie gave a vague explanation. Russell played the victim, said she was the disruption. Captain looked to Celeste finally. She explained again. Firm, not flustered. The captain sighed. "Sir, can I see your boarding pass?" Russell stalled. Captain asked again. Out came the phones. Digital pass. Seat 24D. Economy. The whole first-class cabin went quiet. "That can't be right," Russell huffed. "I always fly first." Captain glanced at Natalie. Then the manifest. "No error here. Ms. Harper, you're 1A. Sir, you're 24D. Russell exploded. "Do you know who I am? I'm with Summit Capital. I'll have your badge for this." And just then, like out of a courtroom drama, an older black woman in 2C stood up. "Sir," she said, voice calm, strong, undeniable. "I'm Judge Nadine Holloway, retired, federal bench. And what I've witnessed here, textbook discrimination, laced with intimidation. Everyone turned, even the flight crew froze. She turned to the captain. "If you don't remove this man, you're complicit." And that was when the camera phones came out. Zoe, a college student with turquoise hair and a fierce glare, lifted her phone. "I've been recording since minute 1, she said. "People need to see this." Russell turned red, but he still didn't move. 10 more minutes passed. Police boarded. 2 officers, 1 black. 1 Latina took statements, reviewed the footage, cross-checked names. "You're assigned to 24D. Officer Camacho told Russell. "Refusal to comply is grounds for removal." Still, he argued, until Officer Daniels said flatly, "This isn't your seat, man. Time to go." That's when Russell tried one last swing. He looked at Celeste and hissed, "You people ruin everything." Gasps. "Judge Holloway." She stood up again. "Did you all hear that she asked the cabin?" "Oh, we did," Zoe said, "and it's on tape." Russell was escorted off the plane, not gracefully. Celeste checked her phone. 3 missed calls. The investors were leaving. She texted her COO, "Casey, I won't make it. Try without me." Before she could catch her breath, another passenger approached. Miguel Torres, CTO at one of the firms they'd pitched 6 months ago. "I saw the whole thing." He said, "Want me to back you up?" Celeste nodded, grateful. He called his contact, turns out. The lead investor. Explained the whole mess. Vouched for her character, her company, her tech. That call changed everything. Within the hour, Horizon Ventures offered her a private charter. Said it was the least they could do. By the time she landed in San Francisco, she'd missed the original meeting, but the partners waited. All of them. She walked into that boardroom, wrinkled blouse, tired eyes, but steel in her voice. She told them what happened, not to play victim, but to frame the truth. "This isn't just about AI," she said. "It's about who gets to design the systems that shape our world, and who gets left out when bias goes unchecked." They listened hard. And then Lawrence Bainbridge, the senior partner, old money, older values, leaned forward and said, "Ms. Harper, we were prepared to offer $50 million. But after today, and after hearing you, we're going to offer Gauter $75 million. Silence. Then a smile. Then Celeste just exhaled long and slow. Weeks later, Russell Cain was fired from Summit Capital. The airline launched a new anti-bias training program. Judge Holloway wrote an op-ed that went viral, and Zoe. She got an internship, guess where? Aurora Corps. But the story doesn't end there. Months later, Celeste was on stage at a conference in D.C., unveiling something new, the Harper Fellowship. A full scholarship for underrepresented students in AI. Her final words echoed, "Sometimes fighting for your seat means someone else never has to." The audience rose. Standing ovation, but backstage, one familiar face waited: Natalie, the flight attendant. She was nervous. "Ms. Harper, I came to apologize," she said. "I didn't see what I was doing until it was too late, but what you did, it changed me." Celeste paused, then said gently, "It's not about being perfect, it's about being willing to see." And with that, they sat, no desk between them, just 2 women trying to get it right. Because this wasn't just about a seat on a plane. It was about every seat that's been taken away. And every seat someone still has to fight for. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever had to fight for your place? Just to be treated like you belonged? Drop your story below. Let's talk about justice, who gets it, who doesn't, and what we do next. Hit. Like if you've ever seen karma catch up with someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them. And subscribe if you believe stories like this need to be heard. Because sometimes, one flight can change more than just your destination. It can change the whole damn map.